Well, ladies and gentlemen, it wouldn't be another day that ends in Y if we didn't have the mainstream gaming industry trying their damnness to take down YouTubers. And apparently, here we are again. We have a post here from Yellow Flash that says, "Thanks for the article, Ryan Bryant," or whatever his name is, Bryant Francis. And then he says, "I am getting the info from someone in Activision because he or she is also sick of woke bums screwing up video games." Apparently, there is an article that was written by a mainstream gaming journalist that says it looks like someone at Activision is leaking Slack screenshots to right-wing X users because, yes, that is exactly what it is. They want to leak messages to right-wing reactionaries over on YouTube. Man, these people are coping and seething so damn bad. And the hilarious thing is I have the archive link to the article itself where we're going to watch together a gaming journalist absolutely lose their mind because they no longer are the ones that are relevant anymore. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not. We have a mainstream gaming journalist by the name of Brian Francis, who we've done videos on in the past. And every once in a while, he tries to become the next Alyssa Mercante by making these ridiculous articles that he know are going to get a bunch of hate clicks. So to avoid that, I am using the archive link for the article instead of actually clicking the article because I'm not going to give him the click, right? I'm not going to give him exactly what he's looking for, but I will talk about the absolute nonsense that is in this article. So let's get into it, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, if you guys need some context really quick, what this is all about is quite simply the messages that Grums had leaked from the Slack channel over at Blizzard, right? So Blizzard Activision has a Slack channel that their employees all utilize, and their president, Rob Kostich, ended up putting out a message saying they're going to double down and triple down on DEI policies, regardless of whether or not Trump makes it illegal or not, or makes it, a bannable offense, whatever the case may be. They're going to double down on it because the employees were asking, what are we going to do? What's going to happen to us? We're DEI hires. What's going to happen? They were all freaking out, and the president basically doubled down on it. That's essentially what it is, right? That's the most in the gist of it. Now, apparently, we got some people over at the mainstream industry that are trying to run damage control for the big daddy corpos, right? These corporations are their overlords. Without them, they have nothing. So they need to run damage control for them, and that's exactly what's happening here. You have an article for Brian Francis that says it looks like someone at Activision is leaking Slack screenshots to right-wing X users. And the reason why he's doing this is because he's trying to get that person fired. That is quite simply all it is. It says far-right users of X, formerly Twitter, are singling out individual Activision Blizzard employees for comments made in support of DEI and inclusion at the company. No, to my knowledge, the only one who's being singled out is that Kyle guy who said that you should off your local MAGA, and that's basically it. He's the only one that I know of that's being singled out. Everybody else, if they're being singled out, they probably said something stupid on their own social media profiles. But let's see what this coping session looks like. So at a glance, several right-wing users on X are sharing screenshots of Activision employees discussing DEI programs in Slack. Activision Blizzard employees are facing increased harassment on X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube following the distribution of what appeared to be leaked internal messages between employees discussing the state of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at the company. The messages, which appear to have been sent via Slack, a communications tool used at Activision Blizzard, have been directly posted by far-right users attacking the company for continuing to support diversity in the workplace. It appears someone with access to Activision's Slack channel is sending screenshots and photos of these messages directly to these users. Now, you got to sit there and wonder, why is that happening? Right? I'm sure Bryant is never going to want to sit there and actually acknowledge the question, but why is that happening? Why are there messages being leaked? Why are there insiders coming out to YouTubers? Why are there so many people that are speaking out against what you guys are doing every single day? Why is that happening, right? Do you wonder why that's happening more and more and more as time goes on? You got to sit there and question as to why all of this is actually going down. And quite frankly, the reason it's going down is simple. They hate what you're doing. They don't like how you are ruining the workplace. They don't like how you are actively promoting racism. They don't like how you are just complete and utter virtue signalers that everybody can see through your fake nonsense. And now that Trump is in in office, a lot of people are feeling emboldened to come out instead of hide like they have been for the last 4 years. That's just quite simply the truth. You just look around you and read the room, and it's very obvious that people were lying to you for years, right? People were lying to you for years about being a Joe Biden supporter or about being a supporter of DEI, right? The inherent nature of DEI as a concept and as a principle is terrible. It really is. It basically shows and tells you that as a non-white person, you need to feel oppressed. You need to feel underprivileged. You need to feel as if the white man is always above you, trying to take something from you. I don't really know what, but something, trying to take something from you, and that you cannot, for some reason, become successful unless a white man puts a DEI policy in place to allow you to have the opportunity that you otherwise wouldn't have, according to them. Even though the workplace has been very diverse for decades, these people who have weaponized and have weaponized empathy have obviously tried to find a way to grift off of this and sell it to you as a problem, right? They tell you the problem, and then they sell you the solution. That's essentially what they're doing. They're politicians through and through. So then Activision senior QA tester Sam Hudson appeared to confirm the ongoing harassment in a post on LinkedIn on January 25th and stated several of their colleagues had been doxxed. Okay. Can you explain what are you serious right now? Do you know what the fucking word dox actually means, bro? Dox is not us finding out your social media profiles, which, by the way, have your real names on it, right? Like, we're not the ones that put your real names in your social media profiles. You're the ones that did that. So if you were doxxed, you weren't actually doxxed, my guy. All it is somebody found your publicly available social media page that you had your first and last name on. Whose fault is that? That's your fault. This employee took screenshots of ABK-wide discussions about the safety of our protected information, like name changes and visa statuses, and sent them to an extremely racist, sexist, and transphobic individual on Twitter who has over 100,000 followers, they added. So basically, they're talking about Grums. Like, that's obvious, right? They're talking about Grums, extremely racist, sexist, and transphobic. Yeah, it says the person who believes that all non-white people are incapable of doing anything without the white man's support. But yeah, let's call Grums racist, sure. It is even more dangerous to be trans or an immigrant on Activision now, apparently, as someone who works with us has no problem doxing people. Again, please define doxing, because you guys use these words to try to get people riled up emotionally, but nobody was actually doxed. So let's be real. Nobody was actually doxed. Your addresses weren't leaked. None of this stuff happened. Can we stop the lie? You guys are ridiculous. Game developer reviewed the leaked message and identified the names of several current employees of Activision and its subsidiaries. Great. These leaks raise questions about what Activision is doing to protect its employees and what action it will take against the person or persons who shared the screenshots if they work for the company. The company's publicly posted diversity policy promises it would create safe spaces to build community at the studio. They continue the leaking of employee messages, raises concern over if that promise is being kept. So here's the truth, okay? The truth about all of this is that they want to get the person fired, right? They want to find out who's leaking everything to Grums and fire their ass, right? Because honestly, it's a cult. They have an entire cult-like mentality, and they're desperately trying to ensure that they maintain that cult-like personality over at the company, right? Activision Blizzard. So the only way to do that is by firing the person who is responsible for leaking the messages. And the funny thing is, it's probably not even one person. That's the ironic thing, right? A lot of these leakers, there's multiple leakers at all these studios. It's not just one person. So they don't even realize that they have a rising up that's happening over at their studios where people are fed up with the nonsense that you guys are pushing every single day and forcing people to abide by this absolute lunacy, like pronouns and all this stuff. You guys don't realize that it is not looking good for you. The first of these screenshots appeared on January 20th, around the time of President Donald Trump's inauguration, and referenced his presidency as a point of concern over policies and software choices at the company. The first leaked messages show an employee raising concerns over the security of an HR platform called Workforce, indicating may be vulnerable to leaks and exposing the names of transgender employees who have filed for name changes during their time at Activision. Again, you're an absolute fucking joke, okay? If you're worried about being trans so much, then maybe perhaps you should not be doing it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Because most of these people are doing it to grift off of the fact that trans had a lot of clout to come with it, right? It had a lot of protections, a lot of clout within the workplace, especially on social media. There was a ton of people that was obviously what you would call trans grifters, which they would go trans just to either save their job or to gain online clout of some way, shape, or form because they're narcissists and they want attention. The majority of trans people haven't even committed to the job, right? The majority of trans people, the vast majority, don't even get bottom surgery, right? All they do is dress up as the opposite sex and say they are what they are. That's it. They take the simplest way to do it because they don't actually want to commit, because they're not really about that life, right? They just want to get the clout from it, and that's it. And then when it stops being popular, guess what? they're going to go back. Twitter account Yellow Flash Guy shared several messages over the next 24 hours, including one where employees realized their messages were being leaked to X and were asking Activision what it was doing to protect their security. The names and profile pictures of Activision employees were on display in the shared messages. On January 27th, user Mark Kern got in on the action, showing a photograph of a Slack message from Activision President Rob Kostich telling employees that the company will be continuing the DEI policies run by the Inclusive Growth Team. In follow-up posts, he singled out a technical artist at the company for a post they had liked on Facebook and called for veterans groups to cut ties with Activision over these policies. See, this is why nobody listens to the mainstream gaming journalism. Okay, look at the absolute fucking lie by omission that's happening right here before our eyes. He says he singled out a technical artist at the company for posts they had liked on Facebook. That is a flat out lie, ladies and gentlemen. That is a flat out lie. He singled out the technical artist at the company because they posted on their Facebook page, off your local MAGA. You guys know exactly what I mean, right? He used the KILL word that YouTube doesn't like. He said flat out, off your local MAGA, to off them, get rid of them, make them gone from the earth, if you catch my drift, right? That is what he said. And this stupid ass journalist doesn't actually want to post what the man said and the reason why he got so much hatred from people in the first place. No, he just wants to make it seem like he's getting targeted for a post that he liked. Bro, what an absolute fucking cope and lie that's happening right now. And again, you guys wonder why you're losing. You guys wonder why YouTubers have taken over and you are just absolutely useless and pathetic and you are a dying breed. You wonder why that's happening. Well, quite frankly, this right here is the reason why it's happening. Gamers and people alike have realized that you will lie and continue to lie, whether by upfront lying or whether by lying through omission. You will continue to lie because you do not want these companies to go down. You do not want these companies to be held accountable. You want to shill for these companies because they give you the status quo that you are looking for. They give you the clout. They give you all of the good fifis that you're looking for by being a good old shill. This is the problem, and this is why you lose. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Make it to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.